with SRT Amplification, and welcome to another installment of Music News Monday. Gonna hop right into this today, try to make it short and sweet, but kind of a feel-good story that I ran into on Guitar World. Let's look at this article right here. Basically, I'll leave the link to this in the comments section down below, but basically the gist of it is a guy back in 2007, so about 11 years ago, was going around and getting famous guitarists and other people to sign a guitar for charity. I believe it was for, let's see, the Rainbow's Children's Hospice, okay? And he was going to get a whole bunch of these autographs, several famous people, Eric Clapton, Jimmy Page, Gary Moore, Pete Townsend, Alice Cooper, Martin Knopfler, all these guys, right? And he's going to auction it off for charity. Well, he was actually taking the guitar around to these people to actually get them to sign it, and many of them signed it, in person with him being there with the guitar. But in this one case where he was trying to get Martin Knopfler's signature, he was unable to do that. So he ended up sending the guitar to Martin Knopfler through the mail or through a courier, whether it's FedEx. It doesn't say in the article. It just says a national carrier. Could have been DHL or UPS or FedEx, whoever it was. But the gist of it is this: the guitar ended up missing, and it is either lost in the mail, somebody stole it out of the mail, somebody stole it from wherever it was gone. And just this year it was actually found. Somebody was trying to sell it on eBay. I guess the person who had got a hold of it figured that it had been over 10 years and people had forgot about this guitar, but they didn't. And they basically found the guitar. The police got the guitar, and now it's being back in the auction. So this thing's being listed actually at the same auction house, Bonham's in England, as the other guitar, or as the recording console that I mentioned in our last segment. So I'll leave a link to this as well, but this is the listing for that guitar. And it kind of tells a little bit of the history and everything. It doesn't really go into as much detail as the article did, but yeah, this would be a nice guitar to get a hold of if you got a few £1,000s to throw at it. Really nice. So in other news, Lindsey Buckingham says that he and Fleetwood Mac have settled a lawsuit over his dismissal. Now, I was really, really excited when Fleetwood Mac announced that they were going to be touring again. They kind of had a little bit of a hiatus. I was really excited about it. I love Fleetwood Mac. They're one of my favorite bands. But the thing that I like most about Fleetwood Mac is Lindsey Buckingham. I love the way he plays guitar. I love the way he sings. Most of the songs that I like by Fleetwood Mac are him singing. So when I found out that he wasn't going to be with the band anymore, because of these, disputes that they had, and they just basically let him go. I guess like the rest of the band must have felt like Stevie Nicks was more important than Lindsey Buckingham, and there's kind of bad blood between them, so they let him go. I kind of find it funny though that they had to hire two people to replace him. One of them is Mike Campbell from the Heartbreakers, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers fame, and then another guy I think he's the singer and guitarist for Crowded House. So they basically had to get two guitarists and a singer to replace one person. That's how talented this guy is. But anyway, they've settled the lawsuit, but it looks like he's probably never going to tour with them again. But they've got Mike Campbell with them now, and Neil, can't remember his name, from Crowded House. But anyway, it's just sad. I would have loved to have seen them again in concert, but I would not see them without Lindsey Buckingham. So maybe they can work out something now that this lawsuit's settled and get him back on tour with them. I don't know. But anyway, that's the news on that. And for our pick of the week this week is going to be and for our album vinyl pick of the week, I've chosen to go to the very end of the alphabet and choose ZZ Top's first album, titled ZZ Top's first album. This album is very hard to find. If you go looking through your vinyl bin, you probably won't see it. But it is their first album, and it. I'm not gonna say it's an album that defined their sound, because I think that you can. There's a couple of songs on here that you will see will eventually become ZZ Top sound, but this album's really all over the place. It's southern rock. I mean, it's got some songs on here that sound a lot like Leonard Skinner. This is 1971, by the way. When this was released, 1971. It's got some stuff on here that sounds like Leonard Skinner, kind of a southern rock stuff. It's got the Texas blues that would later be held up by Stevie Ray Vaughan and others like him. It's got that kind of vibe to it on some of the songs. Other songs are just straight up kind of like blues, like late 60s kind of a blues rock, which, kind of like early Fleetwood Mac, I would say, or John Mayhall and the Blues Breakers, that kind of stuff. There's just a wide variety of stuff here. It's all kind of centered around blues, but just different styles of blues, I guess. I think the song, if I remember right, I think it's called Old Man. It's the last song on the first side. Really reminiscent of Leonard Skinner. But anyway, this is very early ZZ Top, and this is from the ZZ Top was actually formed 2 years before this album was put out, and it was formed with two other guys. It was formed with Billy Gibbons and two other guys, and they didn't really last long in the band. In fact, they didn't record anything or anything like that. They just kind of gigged. But then later he came across, and Billy Gibbons was from Texas, obviously from Houston. He came across Dusty Hill, a bass player from Dallas, Texas, and Frank Beard, the drummer, and the only guy in the band that doesn't have a beard, also from Houston. And they put together, they came together and basically made this album. And from this album on, it's been those three guys. So basically for the last, 45, 46, 47, 48, 47 years, I guess, they've been putting out music with the same three guys. So anyway, very good. Actually, Billy Gibbons, they'll all turn 70 next year. So that's how old they are. And they're still up there, performing, constantly at a high level. Billy Gibbons was actually in a band prior to forming ZZ Top called Moving Sidewalks. And that band actually opened up a few shows for Jimi Hendrix in 1968. So that's where he comes from, is that era. And kind of, he's had a lot of influences on his guitar playing and everything. But if you find this album, or maybe you can find it on Spotify, I don't know, in a digital format. But if you find this album on vinyl, pick it up. It's very good listen, and you really will enjoy it. As far as any updates on the Darson amplifier, those tubes should be getting in this week, and we should have a sound test on that sometime at the end of this week. So I should be getting a video on that shortly. Thank you for watching this video, and put down in the comments what you think about the news that I shared with you this week. And if you've heard this album, let me know what you think about it. If you haven't already, to hit subscribe and share this video. And as always, till the next video, thank you.